It's not time for a parody of a Randy Rainbow parody, although Clive Palmer is definitely not a model, nor is he a very stable genius. Um, he does, however, have a penchant for his penis because his lion trumpet is a mirror for the fascist weenie class. Have fun with that one. It's mildly amusing. Anyway, let's talk about this idea of fans. Okay? And we go back to, I guess this is going to be put in Kantian dialectics or something. Probably that playlist, because we're going to get into this, back into more imaginal constructs for the noumena rather than the phenomenological. So, because this mobile phone that this is being recorded on was the means by which YouTube was accessed to watch Mr. Randy Rainbow's rather colourful and fairly tempo consistent parody. Seen about 4 or 5 times now, and it follows the formula quite well, and is a rather stable lyrical parody. Never mind. We're going to have a yarn about imaginal constructs because, from the vantage point of phenomenologically speaking, so the physical plane. So the esoteric is a physical plane. It's got nothing to do with spirits. It's got nothing to do with minds. Nothing at all. From the phenomenology of the physical plane, okay, this is a middle-aged Australian woman sitting on a chair in a crappy boarding house in Whoop Whoop, holding a phone they bought from the post office or possibly Coles. Either way, that's phenomenologically what's happening now, and they're recording sounds coming out of a physical mouth to this device here. Now, phenomenologically, for you, the viewer, we're making an assumption. Please correct that assumption in the comments. Are you, the viewer, consistently physical humans holding some form of 21st century produced technology, be it a mobile phone or an iPad or Netflix on your TV maybe, or a computer or a laptop or something like that? So phenomenologically, on a physical plane, viewer, from your vantage point, the one who is watching this right now, are you using technology to view this YouTube video? And do you physically perceive anyone in your environment who resembles the visual information that you can derive from watching the fugly YouTube channel? And if so, are they a doppelganger? Anyway, okay, so we just had some fun with that one. So that's phenomenological. We'll clear that up again. Noumenological, okay, is imaginal constructs, okay? It's spirits, it's minds, it's contents of minds, and so on and so forth, okay? It's a much more broader term because it contains a shit ton of bullshit. Okay? So, when it doesn't contain bullshit, so we're going to put a little bit of a spin on this. Okay. People who have what you might call remote viewing experiences or precognition or something like that, or straight up feel other beings there that aren't theirs, don't belong, and maybe even see them at the mental planes level, but not the phenomenologically. So they're peering into the noumena and they're seeing beings that they could swear are real somewhere else, based on the phenomenological information they've derived previously from a, let's face it, fakeable set of circumstances. So if you're from the perspective of phenomenologically, Randy Rainbow doesn't exist. Okay? Randy Rainbow has never been anywhere near this boarding house, near this mobile phone, near this middle-aged Australian idiot, okay? Right? You. Okay? Has never been around here. Okay? Not as Donald Trump or Elon Musk or the Pope or the King of England or, well, yeah, you can write anything on that list because we are dealing with Noumenal. So at what point does the noumena or the imaginal constructs become real? If you're sitting there and you are absolutely sure you're completely insane, for argument's sake, you're absolutely sure you're completely insane, at what they call mind's eye level, you're perceiving the world as though you haven't got your own mind, that there are other beings there and they keep changing, okay? And one of the minds, okay, this is a very strange set of noumenal experiences. Some people call them spiritual experiences. And although noumena is not a one-to-one ratio sameness as noumenal, okay, because it contains imaginal constructs that aren't telling truth. So you get projections and you get distortions and you get seer and you get all kinds of things go on. It causes confusion for bands. And so one of the things that happen, right, is if you're experiencing this weird delusion when you're literally in the middle of the freaking desert on a different continent and there is no one around you for about 2 to 5 to 20 kilometres, and you're literally in genuine fucking whoop whoop. You're living in the Woomera declared zone region, okay? There's no fucking way that this phenomenologically what is about to be said would be a fucking reality, okay? Men in blue uniforms with Star Trek insignias, Donald Trump, Elon Musk and Julian Assange. Donald Trump or someone didn't sound like Donald Trump was using his language, telling Julian Assange, make a deal, make a deal, make a deal, make a deal, right? Okay? And you just experience it as though you're being told, and it's bizarre. And then something about how about you draw a picture, right? Okay? You're bored, draw a picture. So the picture that comes out is some arsehole called Elon Musk is portrayed as Pepe Le Pew. Okay, and he's a complete stranger. I mean, he was one of the people in this story that were appearing at the mind's eye level and was communicating. Okay, so, okay, all right then, draw this down. Okay, uh, Elon Musk is Pepe Le Pew, and then there's Donald Duck. Okay, and Donald Duck, and in the middle is Daffy Duck. Daffy Duck, whose name was Snappy Tom. So Elon Le Pew thought that Donald Duck was beautiful, and Snappy Tom didn't agree and was pointing a gun at Donald Duck. Right? Okay. Now, this is a very small taste of the imaginal constructs that could suddenly appear where you thought your mind lived, but apparently doesn't. And right, that's cuckoo bananas. Okay, that's a that would make a lovely sci-fi novel. It's a little bit different. You could put it maybe perhaps in a political parody even. Except for one thing. You go into town. Remember, you're in Whoop Whoop, but Whoop Whoop does have the internet these days, and so in Whoop Whoop, you go into town and you talk to your friends, well, people that have been kind to you from the cab company. So you got mates in the cab company because they've been kind to you, and you start talking. You like to have yarns with them, right? This is the story on the phenomenological, okay? So we've gone away from the numerological appearance in mind's eye, whatever passes for mind. It's not your own, right? And it of things like Donald Trump and Elon Musk showing up and being and people in blue shirts with Star Trek insignia, just as a wide assortment of images, and being told to draw a picture of what was described with the ducks and what's the name? Pepe Le Pew, which is a cartoon character. And so phenomenologically, it's still Whoop Whoop in a different continent, right? And then phenomenologically, the drawing gets done because it's like, well, that's a strange drawing, right? And then okay, and then phenomenologically again, so we're away from human again. Phenomenologically, there's going around talking to these cab drivers, and they're absolutely sick to death of Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, 2024 U.S. election, Donald Trump is blaring through all the radios, and Donald Trump just got convicted for fraud. 34 counts of fraud he got convicted for. He's running for the president and blah, 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 blah. And these cab drivers are fucking sick of it because, as you might imagine, phenomenologically, Whoop Whoop in Australia, okay, really has nothing to do with USA except for the USA, the UK, and a consortium of international weapons merchants bombing 1/3 of South Australia's Whoop Whoop in the Woomera declared zone. So outside of that, there is actually no interest in yank shit. But yet it gets blared through the radio type of thing. And so, okay. Phenomenologically again, it's like, okay, what's going on there? Who's this Donald Trump? He's that grab him by the pussy arsehole, isn't he? Oh wait, hang on. Yeah, he is too. Hang on. Oh wait, what's going on here? Oh, some fella named Elon Musk has just given him like $1 bazillion to run for president. This is phenomenologically people talking about radios and stuff like that. You know, what stories coming on the radio and the TV. So the going by the pussy guy's just got convicted for fraud, and there's some guy who's giving him millions of dollars to run. Oh, okay. Oh, Elon Musk. Oh, okay. Right. So then phenomenologically again, using the technology. Who's Elon Musk? Who's this Elon Musk? How come he was in a Pepe Le Pew drawing? Who's that fucking arsehole? Hang on. Ah! fucking image. He lives in Silicon Valley in California, and he's been talking about one of the mines open. He's talking about Saratoga. What? Wait, Saratoga's in California? What? What? He's running a SpaceX fucking corporation. He's running a Neuralink corporation. The guy from the Air Force who fucking had to discard his fucking implant that got destroyed fucking years ago. That was phenomenological too. Wait a minute, why the fuck is there Star Trek insignia? Fuck. US Air and Space Command got turned into the US Space Force in 2019 under the first Trump administration, and the uniform was blue and they used a Star Trek insignia. Fuck! Donald Trump just got shot by someone named Thomas Crooks. Snappy Tom. Okay? At that point, you can be absolutely certain that you're not sure if imaginal constructs of the Noumenal or the mind's eye or whatever, it's not even your own mind by that point, is it? You can have other ones. And because the content of your imagination is supposed to be fictitious. It's supposed to be fictitious. It's supposed to be fictitious that a cybernetic implant was destroyed in Pine Gap. Well, not in Pine Gap, in the Todd River in 2018. It's supposed to be fictitious that you can perceive other minds with or have strange noumenal spiritual experiences. It's supposed to be fictitious that people are in whoop whoop and don't know about them, that they turn out to be real. It's supposed to be fictitious. And so, on the basis that the noumenal isn't always fictitious, genuine spiritual experiences are possible. Genuine abilities are possible as well. We really, really need to point out, can you please stop calling Donald Trump and Elon Musk clowns because you have been hurting a disabled woman in Australia in the middle of whoop whoop? Because perhaps maybe, just maybe, it's true that the weird robotic ship that people in Queensland witnessed in March 2019 was real and was actually owned by the SpaceX Corporation. It might actually be true that they had an AI mind insert associated with that, or it might also be true that if you destroy one of those cybernetic implants, a residue hits you and you can therefore communicate with some kind of military-industrial complex subgrid where you would expect to find the technologists that work for the US military there, where you'd expect to find presidents, where you'd expect to find generals, military personnel, and so on and so forth. Okay? So maybe this is a 100% military experience as a consequence of that. However, can you please stop calling them that? You can call them the totalitarian, authoritarian, cheating, lying, fraudulent tech pros and be telling the truth. As long as you add, Australia has overcome fascism in other countries before and will do it again. because that might be an imaginal construct that can help the Australians that have been affected by this. As long as you add the world is not a simulation, we don't buy the New Cage lie. As long as you add the imaginal construct, people are not cyborgs. As long as you add the imaginal construct, we do not necessarily apportion the role of the devil to these individuals. However, they might wish to reconsider their values. Their maps are broken, and people who can read Siri, basically, okay, and Google Earth maybe, or Starlink or something, okay, or got hit by it because those radio waves are flying everywhere. We don't really understand this at all. You might want to badmouth them in a way that's useful, okay? If you're going to badmouth someone, do it in a way that's useful, okay? Because Mr. Trump does have something to cover up for on the Epstein affair, and he has been trying to blame an Australian woman's family who has never been to the United States despite a couple of cousins being born there, and at the very least has nothing to do with any billionaires at all. Like, we're talking pleb as, okay? Mr. Trump has been trying to cover his ass by blaming an Australian family and including victims of crime in that Australian family for what he did with Jeffrey Epstein. And you've got to ask some serious fucking questions about Mr. Musk and why he would be not only friends with Donald Trump, but a financier associate for the election after he got convicted of fraud, after Musk was saying for years that he had some kind of dossier in the background on Trump's role in Epstein. You got to ask questions about why the USSF might have been involved in the interrogation of Julian Assange, or why there would be any perception by someone in whoop whoop of that just before Assange gets released and goes to Saipan. You're talking about a physical body that is phenomenologically, okay, as in physical plane, nowhere near a major city. Hasn't been for years. That stuff is completely and utterly fucking irrelevant. If it was relevant phenomenologically, it might be in the context of being at a political protest or something like that in a major city or whatever as part of a former life. But if someone's in bloody whoop whoop, it's a pretty good sign they're not actually interested in that topic in that moment. So why would the Noumenal have imaginal constructs of them being there, being sentient, communicating, and worse still, some of the communication being factual? Okay? It turns out Jeffrey Epstein existed too. Yuck! There is no Australian, living or dead, who is responsible for that crap. So, how do you like those imaginal constructs? Are they strange to you? Do they sound like they're crazy? Do they sound like they're deranged, maybe? Well, consider the imaginal constructs that appear to be accepted by people on a day-to-day basis when you deal with them phenomenologically. Okay? This is all subjective. You could have had a totally different experience. How droll. Anyway, so what happened is that there was these people who thought that you could apportion a number to a digital code that related to a cluster of other digital codes on some hardware in a bank somewhere, and that could determine whether or not an individual was able to access phenomenologically an object that was right in front of them. Okay, so phenomenologically, this cigarette lighter is right here. Got picked up. Did that produce more light so you can see more face or whatever? Did that happen? Or is this like, the screen backwards or something like that? Or do you do like that? Oh, there it is. It is backwards. That's why this hasn't been working. Hello. See that phenomenologically, that light there? Wait, light hasn't been proven to exist. What's that then? Okay, that's the subjectivity of your senses and perceptions at work. Anyway, so question then becomes is, who's talking through here right now? Is it Randy Rainbow or is it David Packman? The answer is it's David Packman. Okay, so how did David Packman wind up here? He'll go later, okay? You haven't got a clue, do you? You haven't got a clue. You don't even know if he's there at all. You don't believe it. You don't have to. What's this? Oh, fucking look at that. It's a hand with a light. Is it? Are you sure about that? The sound hand with light doesn't quite describe the essence of that particular visual perception, does it? What visual perception? Oh, the viewer most likely has a mobile phone of their own where they're, perceiving some kind of played back, transcoded, friggin' digital version of that particular image. Anyway, it's all noumenal. No, it's not. The phenomena of mobile phones and technology is not noumenal. What's noumenal is the head shit. Yeah, but there's real people and real stuff and a lot of it. Right, okay. So, and numerologically, the spirits of people's minds are fucking real. Absolutely. And there's definitely heaps of them. There's more than one. 100%. Okay. So, is imaginary real then? Well, imaginal constructs are a subcategory of the greater real, which includes the phenomenological and the noumenological if you're using the Kantian language. So Kant was saying imaginary shit was real, but you just couldn't prove whether or not it exists. Okay? He would say something like that because, he might have drawn out from Descartes the conclusion that Jesus and God didn't exist, which might have made him feel toxic shame as a Christian pastor in 1700s Germany. But anyhow, he might have, need to reframe that argument. No. If you do reason and you doubt things, you can doubt Jesus and God and you. Oh, fuck, well, hang on, you actually can do that shit. Oh, fucking hell. Well, you can doubt that? Oh, fuck, you use reason you can bloody doubt that. Oh, fuck. Well, you're wasting your time in Kant. Oh, fuck. Pure reason just showed you your entire life's dedication to being a Protestant pastor in the 1700s in Germany is just wasting your time. Oh. But come on, Descartes existed to write that fucking document. Even he concluded it existed at the end of that. And you're sitting here, this is like not actually Immanuel Kant, okay? This is a parody of Immanuel Kant, right? Well, phenomenologically, Immanuel Kant's sitting on his own goddamn fucking couch beside the fire, and he's just tried fucking Descartes' thought experiment and realised the entire religion was bunk. Um, well, as best as he can discern, he's got proof phenomenologically that there's actually at least two people exist. One of them's Descartes, one's Noumenal Kant. Okay, so phenomenologically can prove she exists. Fair enough. Alright then. But you can't prove the contents of the mind exist because, wait. Those are both subjective. Aha! 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 Oh, so maybe as imaginal constructs, those particular ideas like Jesus and God and the devil still exist. But phenomenologically, they don't. Aha! 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 Right? So, and then he overcame his cognitive dissonance. So, as imaginal constructs, you don't actually have to support that argument either. You can reject that entirely. You can, with imaginal constructs, you can reject any argument you like and support any argument you like. Okay? And so the way that propaganda gets you is by capturing your imaginal constructs and seeding you with imaginal constructs that point you in a different direction. The Democrats have been doing it recently, quite a fair bit, or people that appear to be democratically aligned. So Pac-Man and Dollemore are an example of that. But prior to that, as part of like creating the mega cult, Trump and associates were definitely seeding the collective mind spaces with imaginal constructs that inflame their behaviour. So you've got to wonder what kind of collective mind spaces exist in the USA, what themes that says about that country. It was even possible to seed them at all without any of those groups acknowledging Democrat or Republican that they had in fact been seeding each other with ideas that are entirely imaginary. Uh-oh.